Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. So this video is going to be a bit of a 2021 Harley-Davidson lineup prediction video. And it's coming on the heels of this article I read a couple days ago from Visor Down that said Harley-Davidson custom 1250cc Sportster is on its way for 2021. Referring to the fact that Harley-Davidson's website is saying it's going to be a 2021 release again. And that's a big deal. I mean, there's been some question about whether or not some of these Revolution Max bikes would or would not make it. We do know the Bronx at this point didn't seem to make the cut going into 2021, but the Pan America and the Custom 1250 seem to be in line to be released. As most of us know, Harley-Davidson announced a rewire going into 2021, which is basically reanalyzing the entire brand, cutting down a whole lot of product that doesn't maybe sell as well, and just streamlining product in general. And what I understand is that doing that helps to streamline production. And when you streamline production, you cut costs significantly. When you are the size of Harley-Davidson, if you make one little tweak, it can be millions and millions of dollars. And it ultimately can affect the price of the actual bikes themselves as to what they're marketing them to the customers. So let's go ahead and throw up on the screen here my 2021 Harley-Davidson rewire strategy. Again, this is all just guessing. None of this stuff is official, but this is where I think I'm going to get some comments from people saying that I'm insane and I don't know what I'm talking about. But again, let me know in the comments down below what you think of my thought process here as I run through and reshape the 2021 Harley-Davidson lineup the way that I see a combination of should be, and also with the fact that they say they're going to be paring down a lot of bikes, what I think, my thoughts combined with what I know, what it might look like, and embrace yourself. So what you have today is you have 34 motorcycles from Harley-Davidson. I'm just running with the way that Harley-Davidson has the terminology today. Some of the stuff I think should be changed a little bit, but you have 6 street or Sportsters, 1 electric, 11 cruisers or Softails, 10 touring, 2 trikes, and 4 CVOs. I think this is way too much. I think it should be pared down. And I think the easiest way that you pare that down to start is by getting rid of some of the redundant models and making them packages. What I mean by that is take the Lowrider S, just make it one bike, put it into 2 packages. Same with the Road King and the Road King Special, 2 packages, and then just right through the touring line, Street Glide. Instead of having the Street Glide, the Street Glide Special, the Ultra Limited, and then you have the CVO, all that stuff. You just make it a Street Glide with 6 different package options for that bike. And yeah, it is still kind of the same thing, but again, you're just paring it down, and I'll get to why towards the tail end here. So the same with the Road Glide, again, 4 packages, and then the Tri-Glide, 2 packages. Now, to those of you who are going to say, well, that makes no sense, why would they do that? Well, they already do it with bikes like the Heritage. You have the Heritage Classic, and then you have the Heritage FLHCS, which is the Special, which is the blacked out version. But they just call it the Heritage Classic on the website, and you just basically pick and choose color combinations as to how you want the bike, and that then dictates what package that you're getting. But I think they can do a better job of selling actual packages on these bikes, but like I said, they already kind of do it with the Heritage as it stands. So right off the bat, you kind of pare down all the bikes to what you need. Now, going into 2021, I do think that you are going to see the end of the Sportster. I think that whole Sportster line is gone, but also keep in mind we have the Custom 1250 coming, which is going to fill some of the gap of the Sportster anyways. Now, next, I think they need to nix quite a bit of the Softails. I think the Softail line got a little bit bloated. A lot of these bikes have a bit of carryover. If you like this one, you can kind of go for that one, and there's just kind of some really similar types of bikes out there in the Softails. So the first bike that I cut is the Street Bob. It's gone. And then the next one that I would cut, which is the Deluxe, which has already been cut, so I'm kind of cheating. I already know that one. Followed by the Softail Slim and the Fat Bob. FXDR, we already know is on its way out. The Breakout, I believe, is already cut. As far as the touring line goes, I don't think you cut any of the bikes out of the touring line, but I do think you get rid of the Freewheeler, just one extra trike that you don't need. Now, to everybody that's saying that I cut way too many bikes, you're looking at it here, you're like, well, the whole lineup is gone. It's really not. Keep in mind, I moved a bunch of these into packages, so there still are quite a bit of touring bikes there. We just kind of pared down the Softails, got rid of the Sportster line because, well, that's going to be replaced by the Custom. So now we have this being my 2021 Harley-Davidson lineup. We have 6 cruisers, 4 touring, 1 electric, and 1 trike. 12 motorcycles. That sounds like it's not a lot, but keep in mind with all the packages we have in there, it's actually about 19 if you look at it the old way to the new way. So we went from 34 down to 19, streamlined production. We basically reduced it by, you could call it 22, or again, 15 if you're looking at it like, well, the other packages still exist. But so all in, we reduced 15 motorcycles basically, and we still have all those other packages. I look at this right now and see a very clear and concise product offering. I think this product offering covers all of the bases. Of course, you're losing some bikes that people absolutely love, but again, I think that with this lineup, you kind of have something for everybody. That custom 1250, I'm hoping to see come in sub 10 grand. We don't know what the price for that's going to be yet. I also hope to see like a custom 800 to kind of fill that Iron 883 gap that kind of opens up there, something that's a little bit smaller displacement, and also being liquid cooled, that's going to have more power anyways. And I also hope that these bikes all are 6-speed, so they're a little bit more capable for highway riding. Hopefully with all of the cuts, if they were to go in a direction like this, they could maybe reanalyze some of the pricing structures that they have, maybe get that Softail standard slightly cheaper, maybe knock $1,000 off of it for entry. And then with the lowrider, again, this is where you get into options. You have a 107, 114, so it's starting at $14,899. There's your starting option, which is basically all chromed. And then you have up to the Lowrider S, which is all blacked out, the much more expensive version of it. The Sport Glide, just kind of have it for one option right now, but I think it should be a 114. I don't think the 107 belongs in any bike with the word sport in front of it. At this point, the Fat Boy 114, I think they need to go back to more like a standard Fat Boy, knock that price down a little bit, and just let the Fat Boy be what the Fat Boy is. Now the Heritage, I have it here blue, back with the Softails, because I think that's where it belongs. But I left the word CVO here because I didn't get rid of CVOs. I think CVO should remain an option. If the Heritage is going to stay in the touring bike line, I think Harley should offer a CVO for every touring bike they have, but not have it be a stock item. I think it should be something you have to order special, or maybe the dealer can order a couple of them in different models and have them on the floor, but no more of just this CVO as just a bike that's sitting on the floor and there's 10 of them sitting out there like they're nothing special, because I think CVO should not only be a custom vehicle operation as it's called, but it should be done by a specific portion of the Harley-Davidson plant where you know who the builder was. You can take personalized delivery at the factory if you want. So the Road King, again, these are all options now. You have the Road King, you have the Special, and a 114 or 131 options. The Road Glides and the Street Glides, this is where you start condensing the Ultras and the Ultra Limited and some of these, the Specials, all these packages, and just call it a Road Glide. Let you buy a Road Glide, but get the ultra limited package or whatever the limited package might be that includes the tour pack, the passenger seats, all the stuff that you would have in that bike that they used to kind of call a separate bike. And then, of course, you have the Pan America, which is going to be dropping, and I'm guessing it's going to be around $18,500, maybe $19,000. I really hope they don't come in here over $20,000, which would be a huge miss in my opinion as they're trying to enter the ADV market. But I also like the idea of just leaving the Pan America in the touring line and call it, adventure touring or something along those lines. And then, of course, you keep the Livewire and you keep the Tri-Glide. So this is just kind of my opinion of what I think Harley should be looking at. If you go to the website today, you see 34 motorcycles, and it can be overwhelming. You also have the problem of people being able to just scroll through all those bikes and see your $28,000 Ultra Limited, and then the narrative becomes Harley's cost $28,000. Well, it's a lot different if you look at a bike and say, oh, the starting price is $21,900, and you can buy packages that get it up to $29,000. Well, now the bike is $21,900, and you're adding packages all the way up to the top. So the automotive industry does that, and this is really where I come into the why I think Harley-Davidson should be looking at it this way. So again, why? The reason is, if you go to the Chevrolet website right now, you see 4 cars. That's all you need to see. You don't see every single version of every single car where you're inundated with 20 vehicles when in all reality, you only have 4. So it just kind of helps streamline the experience. And this is where I can hear people saying like, well, Harley-Davidson is premium. They're not the Chevrolet of motorcycles. Chevrolet is the lesser of brands, whatever. Sure. But you go over to Porsche's website and you see the 718, the 911, the Taycan, the Pan America, the Macan, and the Cayenne. Now, when you go and highlight over top of those vehicles, you can see, oh, there's options, and you can build it up from whatever the base or nameplate is. There are some additional options, but again, your initial presentation of vehicles is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 vehicles, and keeps it nice, cut and dry, and that's a premium brand. That's only one of them. We can go over to Lamborghini, same thing. You have a Lamborghini, you have an Aventador, Huracan, Urus, limited series, and concept. So ultimately you have 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of vehicles. And then when you highlight over top of those vehicles, with an Aventador, you get an Aventador S, an S Roadster, an SVJ Roadster. So there's options within that nameplate. But again, you come to the website, 1, 2, 3 vehicles basically to choose from. And it just seems to be a little bit more of a polished branding than somebody logging onto your website. And as you are right now, presented with 34 options for vehicles. It's crazy. I think it would be great to just go to a Harley website, have those options, and be able to build out the bike however you want to. You can have several different packages within that model, but I think it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I think that they've already kind of alluded to the fact that they're looking at paring things down anyways, and I hope to see that that's kind of where they maybe go with it. I also think it would be great to see a lot of this stuff as PDI type things if they possibly can. So when these bikes come in from the factory, a lot, maybe potentially more, can be done PDI at the dealership, help support the local dealerships a little bit, give them some billable hours to delivering the product. Also kind of frees up the plants a little bit to do what they need to do. Just a general idea of what I'm looking at here for 2021. So let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think Harley's going to do for 2021? It's going to be an interesting year for sure. I'm really looking forward to the custom, getting on that bike and riding it. The Pan America, I'm extremely excited to get on and ride. I've never ridden an ADV bike before, and I think it's going to be very interesting and a very compelling product. I hope that it's as premium as I would expect from Harley-Davidson and as premium as the industry is going to demand that bike be as it's entering the race relatively late with a really premium name to it. Therefore, it carries a lot of expectations. Am I off my rocker? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. So again, if this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.